That many years ago, you and Michael Jackson used to go out.
Yes, it's true.
People don't believe he ever had a black girlfriend.
I was his only little chocolate drop.
Not even Michael Jackson? Then you used to date Michael Jackson?
I used to date Michael Jackson, but we were young.
But that was back in the 70s and 80s when people didn't kiss and tell. Right. You know, you didn't kiss. Now everybody tells everything. Right. But back then, we dated for a while.
This was during the time of when he was doing the Wiz movie and before that. See, I knew Michael before that because he used to come to the show all the time and hang out backstage with me. But Michael was really shy, but I was aggressive.
Oh, girl, you know, at that time, I was, 15, 16 years old? Every girl in America wanted to be Mrs. Michael Jackson, and I just knew that I was going to be Mrs. Michael Jackson.
I used to stay with him. Well, actually, we used to sleep in the same bed when he was shooting the Wiz movie. And, you know, you couldn't have told me I wasn't going to be Mrs. Michael Jackson.
And we spent I got a chance to spend a lot of time with him, especially when he came back. Well, he would come to the show almost every day and sit back and watch, and I got a chance to go to the house.
He ain't had that money yet.
Well, he was doing the Wiz, and we lived on Sutton, well, not we, but we, you know, he stayed on Sutton Place, and I used to stay there and go with him to the film and stuff.
I used to do Michael's laundry because I used to spend the night over there and I used to do his laundry. This is the first time that I've ever told anybody that. He lived on Sutton Place and he was filming the Wiz movie, and I used to go over and spend the night and I would do his laundry. Wow. And we would go down to the laundry together. So Michael is not what they're all. He's very real, and and I've never spoke about that, but he's very just a regular kind of guy. We would do laundry together. I did his laundry. Yes, I sure did. When he had his place on Sutton Place, I would spend the night and I would do his laundry. And I even cooked for him, too. Even though I couldn't cook, but I cooked. And you know what? Even as bad as it was, Michael was such a gentleman. He ate it. And Andy Warhol took us out to dinner and did an interview. In fact, it's in Andy Warhol's book.
He took me to the set with him. You know, he took me to the set
early
with him.
Mornings? Did he take you to the set?
Yes, it was early in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
You was washing clothes.
I was washing his clothes.
And then you cooked.
And then I cooked.
Now, that sounds like an overnight visit. Did you go to Never Land?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll say this. I will say this. I did spend a lot of time, and I did spend the night.
I just enjoyed the ride. I was enjoying it, and I was in love with Michael, and I was having a great time, so I didn't care.
Early mornings with Michael. Yes. Having a great time. It's just one that I have to ask. Like, I feel kind of weird asking it, but did you guys ever had sex?
No, we never had sex. I never had sex with Michael. You know what I want to say? Michael is very much a man, and he was very loving. He was very caring.
And he was not soft. People thought he was soft. He was not soft.
Michael is a great kisser. Right? I've kissed him. He's a great kisser. Wow. And he's very affectionate.
And I was really in love. I just knew I was going to be Mrs. Michael Jackson.
I thought I was going to marry Michael, but, you know, I'm a little too dark. I really was. I thought I was going to marry Michael. I was so in love with Michael Jackson. I think every black girl and every white girl in America was in love with the Jackson vibe.
Why did you break up?
Well, because I wanted to get married and he wasn't ready to get married. And he wanted to experience other things, as we now see. So that's why.
Why did y'all break up? Why did y'all stop dating?
Because I didn't want to go to certain people's houses for dinner, I didn't want to do that.
The white people he started hanging around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
They don't season the chicken.
Well, you just could probably see the devilish ways in them, and that's probably when you started to see the change.
And I wasn't going to change my, you know, if I was too black, if my songs were too R&B.
I don't know what happened after Billie Jean and that huge success. He changed into something else, but prior to that, he was cool.
Did you guys stay in touch even after all of that?
We did. When he did the Bad video, he called me and he wanted my best friend, who was Greg Burge, to choreograph the Bad video. And I got in touch, and they got in touch with each other. And then I went to visit the set. That was the first time I ever saw him when he had totally changed.
What did you think?
I whispered something. I whispered something in his ear.
What'd you say, Miss Miller?
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm very real with Michael. You know, like he knows I'm truly a black woman, so I approach him in a whole nother way.
Okay.
You know,
And how many people have seen him in his drawers? I mean, really.
I guess it's not that many. Maybe Brooke Shields, Tatum O'Neal.
Right.
They've seen him. But Michael was very cute in his little underwear.
He was the most gentle, most kind person. He never said a bad word about anybody. I've never seen him upset. Never.
And he is a very, very sweet and nice man. He really is.
So the world wasn't ready for Michael because he had so much love for everything and everybody that he was misunderstood. He was truly, truly misunderstood and very, very unhappy in the last days of his existence.
When did he start changing? Like when you started seeing him lightening his skin and doing stuff with his skin?
I think when he became bigger. You know, in entertainment world, they always tell you, because I was always black. I was too black, to this, to that. So they want you to cross over. So they tell you have to, you know, not sing so soulful, So I think when he crossed over to pop, which I don't like labels, because I think music is music, that's when he began to change. When he got all that success, and he had, I believe he had the wrong type of people around him.
Because the real truth is, in this business and this industry and in this world, is no matter how much money you have, as a black entertainer, you are still black. And that's what he realized. He was no matter, and he's the biggest selling artist in the world, but they treated him like he was just another black artist when his records began not to sell. And that pained him. And he went on that campaign of calling Tommy Mottola racist and all of that.
He's not the only one.
And he's not the only one. But he learned later in his, because you're only as good as your last record. And that's what I realized early. You're only as good as whatever hit you have at that moment. Your history, my credentials and what I've accomplished means nothing.
He was so gentle and so kind. And he's not a pedophile. Not at all.
So why do you think he got caught up in that whole pedophile scandal?
Because Michael liked being around children because they were innocent. Even my brother Andre used to hang around Michael. And they didn't want anything from him. They didn't have an agenda. And I think that's why he liked being around children. They just liked to play and have fun. They didn't have an agenda, but most people around him had an agenda. They wanted something. I mean, I would go to Havenhurst and see mothers drop their daughters off to stand at that gate and wait for Michael.
Really?
Yes.
But he was very shy. He was never, ever a child molester. Never, ever. He's innocent. He was misunderstood, just grossly misunderstood, and he was before his time. And people didn't understand because he loved children. Children, they're not tainted. They're pure. And that's what he was always constantly looking for, whereas adults always wanted something from him, where children just wanted to have fun and love him.
Do you think it was strange, any of his behavior, like staying over with the kids, anything like that?
I didn't think it was strange. No. I didn't think anything he did was strange. I think the public and I think people that are around him made it strange, and because he liked that, they made the story. But he's not that. He was the most gentle person, kind.
Michael was so sweet and so innocent, and I really don't think that this world was ready for the kind of person he was. You know what I'm saying? He was love, and that's all he knew was love, and that's all. And he loved children because children are innocent. They're not tainted, and they don't judge you. They don't want anything from you. So that's why he felt comfortable being around children.
Why do they do that? I was like, when it comes to like Teddy Pendergrass or the Michael Jacksons, any of the great black stars, they always gotta end their lives with some mess.
But they don't talk about Elvis Presley marrying her at 16 or 15
14.
or any of them. Because I say this, they tolerate us in this business. They don't celebrate us.
They had a white man play Michael once. Remember that story with Michael and somebody went on
now,
a road
how
trip?
insulting is that? How stupid, how crazy is that? That's some crazy stuff right there. You know, I think they make fun of us. And I think that when you, like, I never wanted to sit at their table. Never. I wanted to sing, do my music, and be a great artist and perform to my people. I never wanted to sit at their table. Never.
Word.